Howdy gamers, old gamer guy here. If you're into VR gaming, you know the hottest game sweeping the VR world is Music Rally. No, actually this is Gran Turismo 7 and Music Rally is the very first thing you do in the game. Yeah, I know I said that the next video on the channel would probably be Resident Evil 8 or Walking Dead in VR, but what can I say? I read some good things about Gran Turismo 7 in VR, and I used to be a big fan of Gran Turismo back in the day, so here we are. And this is about my first hour of play, edited down to a little less than 20 minutes, and holy crap. Gran Turismo 7 in VR is outstanding. I generally like racing games enough that I buy one every once in a while, but I've never considered purchasing a steering wheel controller until now. I am seriously considering it because right here I am using the DualSense controller and I am tilting it to turn the steering wheel, and it is very immersive. But I realize that a steering wheel and pedals on the floor would be incredibly immersive, and I am seriously considering it. But the objective in Music Rally is just to drive as long as you can. You can see that number counting down there. That's actually the beats for the song. And so I need to get through these checkpoints before those beats get to 0. And I do pretty well here on my first attempt. I get almost to the end of the song, and I do well enough to get a bronze or a silver trophy, and I unlock the next song. But yeah, you can see when you're getting short on time, the colors leave the screen. And right there, that was actually the last checkpoint. So that was kind of a heartbreaker, but I did get the silver medal, so that's good. But doing this in VR really is next level gaming, in my opinion. We get a automatic replay. This is actually kind of in a virtual theater. This is not VR right here. Most of the videos, most of the menus in the game are not in VR. This opening video is shown on sort of a virtual screen. It's like you're in a pitch black room with about a 100-inch screen about 7 feet away from you. And we get this opening video kind of showing the history of car technology and showing it alongside the history of other technology and other world events. And then toward the end of the video, we get to see some in-game graphics, and the Gran Turismo series has always looked very, very nice. This is the main menu. This is also not in VR, but it still looks very nice, and the lovely Sarah there looks very nice. We're going to meet a few people here. They're all very much into cars. Our first objective is to acquire those top 3 cars there, here at the used car dealership, and we're actually going to buy one of them right away. But before we buy it, let's take a look at it in the VR showroom. I was looking at my in-game statistics after a few days, and it said that I had been playing for 9 hours or so total, and about 3 hours had been spent in VR. So that ought to tell you that you do spend a lot of time in menus that are not VR. Right here, I realized that I was very, very short in comparison to this car, and then I thought, I'm just kind of crouch walking around here. I thought there might be a button to push, but I actually just put my hands out and steadied myself on the table and stood up. And so now I'm able to walk around the car. We're sort of in a virtual airport parking lot. Early morning fog, it looks like. And we can look at the interior there. You can actually push a button and get in the car. So I'm about to do that. I think it's the triangle button. And of course I'm standing here, so I have to sit down within the structure of the car. And so Yeah, here with the camera shaking right there, that's actually me laughing because this looks so damn cool. So I'm just having fun looking around the inside of this car. I'm not a huge car guy in real life, so I can't really comment on, how accurate these interiors are, but I do appreciate the realism when I am sitting in this car. And there we go. There's my new car. It has a PP, or performance point number, and those numbers are being added to my collector level, and then doing that levels you up, and of course that unlocks other cars and other things as you go along. And you have to have a place to put those cars. So here's the garage. And then as you accomplish objectives, you get roulette tickets that you can then cash in, and we will get a gift of some kind. Sometimes it's all cash. Sometimes, like right here, it's 5 different cars. Sometimes it's cash. Sometimes it's a part for a car that you already unlocked. But right here, I just unlocked a sweet Lamborghini. And this car is going to make my first objective really easy. Gran Turismo won't always allow you to do this, but I'm going to be able to use this car in a race against cars that are very, very much outclassed by this car. But here I have unlocked the tuning shop and a new helmet. All of this is being done in the garage. So here I am changing cars, and there's a better look at my sweet new ride. You automatically change helmets and racing suits and all that, I guess, as you unlock things. I don't see a way to change those settings in a menu. But right here is another look at another virtual showroom, and once again I realized I was crouch walking around the Lamborghini, so I stood up very carefully. And yeah, this VR stuff is just so immersive. Like I said, I'm not even a car kind of a guy. I'm not really that into it, but I've just been playing with a huge smile on my face. But there was another way to look at your car collection. It looks like there are 488 cars in the game at the moment. Here we are going into the cafe, which is, of course, a gathering place for people who are very, very into cars. And you'll be getting your objectives here. It's kind of a weird system, but this guy, Luca, gives out menus, and those menus give you your objectives. So right now, I have a menu that is telling me that I need to collect those 3 Japanese compact cars. But as I complete these menus, I come back here to the cafe to collect my rewards and start a new menu. But now I have some actual races available, and also the showcase, which will allow me to look at user-created content, replays, and photos of drivers from around the world. I'm not going to show you any of that creative stuff because I have not gotten into it at all in my hours of playing so far. But here's a quick look at the menus here. We've got several different types of content to sort by. But let's go ahead and get into a race. We can see where our objectives are by those gold icons. So we have an objective in the Americas and also in Asia, Oceania. Oceania? I don't know. But let's go here first. And like I said, my Lamborghini is going to make this race kind of a joke. So I'm going to destroy these cars. I'm actually going to lap them a few times. I'm not actually going to make you watch this entire race, but you'll get a quick look at this track. It's a very simple oval track. And there's my car. I think when I stood up, when I sat back down, I was not exactly where I was when I first calibrated the headset. So you'll notice in some of these races, some flickering, like the skeleton of the car. I'll point it out here in a moment. It's going to happen again in the next race, but yeah, right here you can see I'm lapping all these guys again right before getting to the finish line. And this is just incredibly immersive. I'll probably never actually be in a Lamborghini in my life, but now I can kind of say that I was actually in a virtual Lamborghini, and it was very cool. And I'm going to enjoy riding in all of these exotic cars, even though, like I said, I'm not really a car guy at all. But here we go. I won the Sunday Cup. It really wasn't much of a challenge. So I got some credits, and it looks like they think that 26.2 miles a day is a worthy goal for a reward. But now I have 2 of the 3 cars unlocked, and I'm adding to my collector level, and I've gotten another gift car. You can look at the perspectives of the other drivers in the replay if you want to. But let's move on to this second race here in Japan. Once again, it's going to be a joke for me. The track is just a little bit more technical than that other track, but still pretty simple. Just a bunch of left turns. And there you can see what I was talking about. I had to kind of scoot over to make that flickering go away because I'm sort of sitting on the edge of where the car allows me to sit on the couch. So you have to get in the proper position. You have to have proper form. But yeah, once again, this race was incredibly easy for me and incredibly fun. You can see I'm just kind of leaning back and forth there and testing the boundaries of the playing space. But Strummer has dominated the race and won another cup, another $5,000. But more importantly, that will complete our first menu. We get a little bit of mileage added toward our driving marathon total and a little bit of cash. And here is the car that we unlocked, the Toyota Aqua. I don't think I've actually driven this car. It's just been parked in my garage ever since. I think I have about 27 cars at this point, but never mind that. Let's go back to the cafe. Luca likes to talk about all this stuff, of course, and so he's excited that we've completed our collection, and we're going to get a 1-star roulette ticket out of it, and we're going to unlock the license pavilion. Here is the very beginning of the video where Luca talks about the Japanese compact cars. He loves this stuff. He loves to talk about it. Sarah actually has a birthday present for me. But let's take a look at our new menu. And our next objective is to get our National B license. Gran Turismo, they like to call themselves the real driving simulator. And part of that is actually getting a license. Not being a car guy, this aspect of the game is actually a little bit annoying to me. This has been in all of the Gran Turismos. I think not every race requires a license, but soon enough you start getting to races that require at least this National B license. And there is an A license, an International B and A license. So yeah, this is actually a large part of the game. I'm not going to make you watch all of this, but this is an example of what they're making you do here. It's just you have a time limit and you're trying to accelerate and then stop in a particular area here. And in VR, even this is a lot of fun. So as much as this would normally annoy me, I went through all 10 of these B license tests really quickly. We get replays for these things too, but I'm not going to make you watch all that. And of course, we get a reward after every one of these. We get a little bit of cash and a little bit of mileage added to our total for the day. But yeah, there you can see I have done B1 and B2, but we're going to skip to B10. This is the final exam for the National B license. And it's really simple, but embarrassingly, I actually failed it a few times, because if you go off the track at all, it's a failure. That's not the case during an actual race. But I won't make you watch my failures. Here's the actual successful attempt. I think you can turn those, the braking prompt, I think you can turn that stuff off. It's just on automatically because I'm playing in the normal difficulty. But I think you can turn all that stuff off. And yeah, you can see this is a really simple test. And I'm going to get it done. It's only a bronze. A lot of people would sit here and try until they got a gold, but I'm not a lot of people. Bronze is good enough for me. And here we go. I've unlocked a new car, and I'm still leveling up my collector level. And now they're telling me about the National A license, but it'll be quite a while before I need that one. I actually have already gotten that license in my playtime, but never mind that. Let's go back to the cafe and get my new reward, because we have earned it. We got some new world circuits, and we can start our next menu, which is to collect European classic compacts. Gran Turismo always does this. They start you off with the really slow cars first. But that doesn't mean these races aren't any fun. There is a race with Mini Coopers really early on that is quite challenging. And I spent an entire day tweaking my parts and trying to win that race, or at least come in third. But yeah, never mind that. Here I am cashing in another roulette ticket, and I'm getting a little bit of cash. But yeah, I am loving Gran Turismo 7, and I am loving PSVR2, and the combination is outstanding. Yeah, so probably more videos of this coming soon, more VR games coming soon on the channel. But for now, thanks for watching.